Hi everyone, it's Dr. Ramani. Welcome back to this YouTube channel on narcissism, narcissistic relationships, and above all else, how to navigate these relationships and how to heal from them. So, have any of you ever tried to call out a gaslighter in real time? How did that work out for you? So let's talk a little bit about what happens when you call a gaslighter out in real time. Now listen, we all know what happens when you call out a narcissist in real time. If not, watch the video. It's not good. Please don't call narcissists out. It doesn't work. But what happens when you call out a gaslighter in real time? Remember, not all gaslighters are narcissistic. All narcissists gaslight, but not all gaslighters are narcissistic. So knowing this, how to call them out, is not only useful in narcissistic relationships, but also in any kind of gaslighting situation you're in. For example, even if you're gaslighted by someone you don't know well, you don't know they're narcissistic, it's still not very pleasant. So let's play this out a little bit, right? So someone gaslights you. Let's try an interpersonal example. You say, hey, we need to get to the airport. The flight is at 6 p.m. They say, no, it's not. It's at 9 p.m. You say, no, it's at 6 p.m. Look, here's the confirmation. They say, oh my God, you always book tickets at the most stupid times. Now we have to be driving in rush hour. It's amazing how you can't even account for that. It should have been 9 p.m. Any thinking person would have booked the 9 p.m. Okay, that's gaslighting. Let's try a family example of what gaslighting can look like, right? Mom, hey mom, can I get those dishes back that I loaned to you? And can I also get that money you needed to give your sister for that doctor's appointment? You said that by now the insurance was going to reimburse you back, and it's been a couple months. Could I get that back? Mom says, I don't have your dishes. I already gave them back. And I think that you're kind of imagining about that money too. I don't kind of really remember that. You, with the gaslighted person, says, yes, I know you have my dishes. Look, here is a picture that I was sent by my cousin from your get-together last week. Those are my dishes, and I need them back for something. And you told me that that money would be back in 30 days, and I need it, and it's been a few months. And then your mom says, oh, is that how you spend your sad little days? Looking through pictures and stalking dishes? If something this stupid is so important to you, then go through the damn cabinets and find them. I don't have time for something this ridiculous. And I guess you really don't care that much about your aunt's health. You always walk around saying you care so much. You pretend to be so helpful to the family. But I got to tell you, it's more trouble than it's worth with you. You are so selfish. And you're thinking, oh my goodness, right? So let me give you a workplace gaslighting example. Your boss says, hey, where's that report? You look startled because you had worked for weeks and practically pulled an all-nighter. And you say, I sent it to you last night, and I even put a hard copy in your mailbox, and I gave an extra to your assistant. Your boss says, no, you didn't. You say, yes, I even put a read receipt on the email. See, it shows that you opened the email and the report was attached to that. Your boss says, oh my gosh, you with the damned read receipts. It's too weird. Like, read receipts are like what a stalker or something does. Like, ooh, did he open my email? So as you listen to those three scenarios, you're perplexed or angry after hearing those situations, right? I'm sure something like those may very well have happened to you. So what would have happened in scenarios like that if you had called the gaslighter out and said, hey, you're gaslighting me? Well, that starts the gaslight sequence part 2. You will get responses like, first, mockery. You might get things like, oh gosh, gaslighting, really? What, did you see that on TikTok? I'm gaslighting you? Oh, aren't you trendy? Do you even know what gaslighting means? You might get deflection and blame shifting. The gaslighter will say, oh, You'll do anything to change the subject, won't you? Meanwhile, your aunt is sick and the only damn thing you care about are some cheap dishes and your precious money. Or you may get hit with anger. How dare you accuse me of that? I am actually going to set up a meeting with our VP. We need to talk about this. Accusing me of gaslighting is taking this into a hostile workplace territory, and I don't feel comfortable or safe meeting alone with you anymore. There's a little bit of victimhood in that one too, right? Or you might be met with more gaslighting. They could say, I see you're narcissistic enough to think I'm gaslighting you. I'm just calling you out. You walk around, you think you're a little misorganized and on top of everything. You have to control all the travel plans. It's insane. And I keep letting you do these things just to shut you up. And now, because I simply remembered one flight time wrong, that's all I did. Now I'm a gaslighter? That's all I did was forget the time of the flight, and I'm now this big abuser. If you accuse them of gaslighting, they might engage in exaggeration. They might hit you with, I can't believe this. You are calling me a monster. A monster! Is that how you see me? As an effing sociopath? Now, after I gave you that whole list of reactions, ask yourself, is any of this worth it? Remember what gaslighting is. It's a power play. It's not a face-saving lie, nor is it actually someone forgetting something. If it was that, they wouldn't go to the next step and call you impaired or manipulative or unwell and then turn themselves into a victim. It is a way for them to maintain their standing as the one in control, the good person, the one above reproach. The gaslighting is a way to keep you in your place and them in the dominant position. It's not even about them trying to get away with something. The other day, I had thought I had paid this is me, Dr. Ramani talking. The other day, I had thought I had paid someone some money I owed them. They said, hey, Ramani, can you Venmo me the money? I said, I thought I already did that when you originally sent me the request. It's a pretty large sum of money. And I was actually pretty sure I did it because I remember, ooh, that's a lot of money I need to send this person. And the other person said, I don't recall, but let me check. And I said, no, I can check too. I just want to make sure. Well, it turned out I hadn't sent it. And as I was checking, I said, ugh, I just want to make sure I'm not gaslighting you. I would feel terrible if I said I did and I hadn't, and it turned out I hadn't. Immediately, I was deeply apologetic for remembering it wrong, and the other person was fine because I was apologetic. It was the day she needed the money, she asked it. At no point did I call the person asking for the money, I never called her greedy or stupid or out of her mind. It wasn't a power play. I was distracted. There's a difference, and I thought I'd paid her. When there's evidence to the contrary, I owned it. So it's back to the is it worth it to call them out part. Is it worth it to school them on gaslighting if they're never going to cop to it? And the answer, I believe, is no. Being double gaslighted or raged at or mocked, it's not worth it. It's not as though they're going to step back and say, oh my goodness, I am so sorry I gaslighted you. I didn't mean it. I really thought I returned the dish, and then I wanted to make you feel stupid so I could feel less shame about taking the dish to Mary's potluck. That's never going to happen. You're never going to get that response. So what do? Well, once you know you're being gaslighted, stop, disengage. Do not try to prove your point to the other person. The person with the flight, that person could have shown the confirmation to the partner, ensure that they get to the airport on time, and disengage from that angry partner and recognize it's going to be a very long flight. With the mom with the dishes, go look for the dishes in her cabinets, get them home, and don't loan her the dishes anymore if you don't want to lose them, and recognize that it may be a long time, if ever, before you see auntie's medical money. And with that report, yep, keep using those read receipts, get an assistant to log it in somehow, anything to prove that you did your part. So if it comes down to a complaint, you have the paper trail to show that you did what you were asked to do. This is all about radical acceptance. Just like with narcissism, gaslighters are going to gaslight and they're never going to see it. Once a person shows you this is who they are, gaslighter, tread lightly, document the hell out of stuff, and if it's high stakes, like the time of a flight or an important appointment or an important deadline, make sure you cover your bases on getting to that airport or getting to that appointment, or that you see your part through so you don't get in trouble in your job. It becomes a wake-up call to take a fuller look at the situation, disengage a bit, and have different and more realistic expectations. And yeah, experience the grief, because once you recognize that you can't push back, you also have to accept that it won't change and make your decisions accordingly. But above all else, hold on to reality and perception. Do not let them leave you feeling like you are selfish or disorganized or foolish or greedy. Get other reality checks. Go to therapy. Honestly, this video in part is why I take on the whole "Am I the asshole?" stuff on this channel. Almost all of those are gaslighted situations, and you can see that those unfortunate people are going to Reddit to get a reality check. If this is chronic gaslighting, get therapy with someone who gets it, because it is going to take a toll on you. But please, oh please, promise me that you're not going to tell them that they're a gaslighter, because that is not going to work out for you. Thanks again.